In this video, we will learn the basic document formatting using Microsoft Word 2016, and these are the features that we are going to learn. Setting paper size, margins, and orientation. Setting a line and or paragraph spacing, adding a paragraph and or a page border and shading, inserting a page, a column, and or a section break, setting and clearing tab stops, inserting, editing, and removing a header, a footer, and or a page number. Now let's jump into action. The first thing we're gonna do is open Microsoft Word. This is the one. And we will start with a blank document. Before we proceed creating a document, let us examine the composition of our Microsoft Word 2016 screen. It composes of our work area here, our status bar, where you have on the right side or right end your zooming and then your view options. On the left end, you will have here your page number of words in a document, and your language, and the accessibility indicator. And if ever you would like to include also the line indicator and the column indicator so that you could know where your cursor is. The cursor is your blinking block, this one, and wherever it is, that would serve as the insertion point. To include the line indicator and column indicator, you just click on any blank part of your status bar, say here, and then right click, and then just check column and just check line as well, and you will see that our line is 1 and the column is 1. That's the location of our cursor right now. See that one here? That's our insertion point. And here we have our visible rulers, the horizontal and vertical rulers, and we could hide them if you don't like to see the visibility of that for some reasons personal to you. Just check this off. It's here, and we'll hide your rulers. But for some, they find it very useful, and I joined the group of those people who like to see always the rulers visible, the horizontal and the vertical rulers. And another thing here, you could also show the grid lines, especially when you are working on a document that would be requiring grid lines, and you just could turn it off if that would be bothering you. Another one here is navigation pane, which is very useful, especially if you have a multi-page document and your document has table of contents. Here you will be able to see the headings, the pages, and the results. The results here is referring to the searching result. But the searching here is only within the document. If ever you like to find something outside the document into the World Wide Web, you are going to click references so that you will be able to use your smart lookup. When you click this, you will be opening a search pane on the right side of your screen. Here you get a search bar, and you could type anything here, and that word or phrase that you type here will be searched on the World Wide Web. Like, for example, if you like to know something about this term, portmanteau, just type it there and press the enter key, and there you have your top result, definition for the term, and you have also here other results, the corresponding links that you just could click, and you get here your portmanteau, how it looks. That's only one meaning of portmanteau. Portmanteau is a combination of two words where their meaning and their sounds are also combined. Now I'll just close this for a while, and we could start our document creation. Before we do that, however, we always get to set our margins, our page size, and our orientation. Of course, we know the default. The default is the preset choice. That is the choice that will be automatically done by your computer if you do not make a choice, or if you fail to make a choice, or if you don't specify an option among the options. You just could click layout, and you have your margins, and you could check the default margins. You have here 1 inch at the top, the same also at the bottom, the left and the right. Now if ever you like a different set of margins because you want to provide more space for your document, you could choose the narrow, the moderate, the wide, the mirrored. And if you still cannot find what you want, just move on here and click custom margins, and here you get a pop-up menu or pop-up dialog box where you could change the preset margins. Could decrease it using these buttons, or you may type it directly right here. Supposing you like it at 0.7 at the top, and you also would like to have 0.7 at the bottom, and you are also going to reduce your left. Maybe you like it to be 0.5 only, and that would also be the same for your right. Now, as soon as you're done, you just click OK. Now you have a gutter position here. This is used for binding purposes. So your gutter position would either be left or top. I cannot find a book where the binding is on the right or at the bottom. Normally it's on the left and top. So you could place here your value for your gutter if that is a book. But if it's just a document that doesn't have to be binded or that doesn't require binding, just leave that at 0. Our orientation right now is portrait, but you could change that to landscape. So portrait is standing, landscape is lying. And the paper size also here. The default is 8.5 by 11. That is the size of your short size bond paper. And if ever you don't like that size of bond paper, or it's not what you need for the document that you are about to create, you just change it according to the available paper sizes given here. And if there is none among those given is what you want, or if none of them is what you want, just go to custom size and just simply change this to, for example, you might want to use a long size bond paper. The height of that is 13. So just type 13 here, or maybe you're just gonna keep on increasing it using the increase button here, but that will take time because this is waypoint 1. So it would be much faster if you're going to type directly here 13. And when you're done with your margins, paper size, maybe your layout, get a new page, continuous, new column, even a rad page. We're not going to talk about it yet. So once we are done here, just click OK, and you're all set to start creating your document. You could also have your orientation chosen here, your paper size chosen here as well, aside from doing that on the pop-up dialog box. And we are going to start creating a document here with the margins that we have set a while ago. We have here the 0.5, so take a look at that. That is good for 1/2. This is also 1/2. And your size of paper is 8.5, and you subtract 1/2 on the left, 1/2 on the right, so that means you have 7.5 inches available for your document. See that 8.5 minus 1/2 here and minus 1/2 here, that leaves you with 7.5 inches. For your top and bottom margins, you have 0.7, and then you have a length of 13. So 0.7 plus 0.7 is 1.4. So this is what you have left here. Not exactly 13 because you subtract 0.7 at the top, 0.7 at the bottom. Now we are not going to type a document. We'll just copy and paste because that will take a lot of time to do that. We'll just open another document here, and we'll just copy the content of the document into our document where we have set already the orientation, the margins, and the paper size. This one, a recently open document. And we'll copy a portion of that, maybe 3 pages of this. And just copy this, and let's go to the other document, and this is the one, and then we are going to paste. All right, this is a long size bond paper. That document is short size bond paper, so not exactly 3 here. You get extra space on the third page, because the difference between the short size and the long size bond paper is a couple of inches. The long size is 13 inches in length or height. Short size is 11 inches in height. They have the same weight, however. All right, we have here our document. Now, next thing we're gonna do is we are going to set the line and paragraph spacing. So we talk about line spacing, spacing between lines of text. So we'll just highlight here, for example, one paragraph, or this portion here. And again, say highlighting, or it's just selecting a text, and it could be done by clicking your mouse here at the beginning of the text you want to highlight, and do not release your finger on that button of your mouse, and you drag it to the right. Or you could do it the other way around. I will start from the portion here, the ending portion of the text that I want to highlight. Then hold your finger on that left button of your mouse and drag to the left till you reach the beginning, and you release your finger on the left button of your mouse. There you go, and there automatically will pop up a menu like this, where you could format your text in terms of the size, the font style, the color, the bullets, numbering, and here we have the line and paragraph spacing that we need. So we'll click this one, or maybe we'll click this, and you will be able to choose from among the available line spacing. You see, as I move my mouse over any of this, you could also see the effect on the text that we have selected. Say 3, 2.5, 2.0, 1.5, 115, 1.0. And if the line spacing that you want is not here among the available preset line spacings, just click this one, the line spacing options. And here you get a pop-up dialog box where you could specify your line spacing. So we talk about line spacing, so we are going to focus our attention here. And you indicate your line spacing. So you have also here available line spacing options like 1.5 lines double, at least, exactly, multiple. So if none, then you just simply type your line spacing in, say 1.3 for example, and then just simply, you could have the preview anyway, click OK as soon as you're done indicating or specifying your line spacing, and you see the change. Now you could always backtrack, you know that. You could always click undo. That's how you backtrack, so that you will get it restored to the original. So that is all about your line spacing. Next is our paragraph spacing. Paragraph spacing would require us to have at least a couple of paragraphs. Let's try to highlight these 2 paragraphs, or maybe 3 of them. And then again, there's the pop-up menu. If you are not going to move your mouse there, it will just pop out like that. But you could always make it re-emerge or reappear by right-clicking. You have that one plus this. And you choose again your line and paragraph spacing. You could also have your line and paragraph spacing at the Home tab. It's here. Home tab, you have this line and paragraph spacing that we could click. And our purpose is to add space before and after the paragraph. So we could choose this one or this one, but much better if you have it this way, because you have it only at once. And you have here for the paragraph spacing. So you gotta add spacing before the paragraph, after the paragraph. You may click this increase button. It will jump to 6 point. The next time you click it, it's gonna be 12. So this is giving you multiples of 6. Next is 18, 24. And you could do the same thing here after. It's all up to you if you want to have spacing after the paragraph or not at all. It's not a requirement that if you have a spacing before, you must also have a spacing after. And another thing is, if multiples of 6 is not the spacing that you want, you could specify your own spacing here. Just simply directly type your spacing point here. You may say 9 instead of 6. You may say 7 or whatever value that you like. Just type it there anyway. And you do the same thing here with the after. Maybe you like it 14 instead of 7. As soon as you're done, just click OK here. You see that it's spacing. The change is very obvious. I mean, the change has been made. Backtrack again. There you are. So we are done with the line and paragraph spacing. Let's move on to the next feature, which is adding borders, whether it's a page border or a paragraph border, and then shading. And let's start with a page border, and I will just put my cursor anywhere on the page. You don't have to highlight any text here for the page bordering. We're gonna go to our tabs and we are going to choose our design tab, and we navigate our mouse all the way to the right, and you will see here your page border. Just click this page border. And there again is a pop-up menu or a pop-up dialog box where you could specify your border style. Right now there is none, so you could choose either box, shadow, 3D, or custom. Choose in the meantime shadow, and upon choosing that shadow, you also get to indicate here the style of the line that will make up your border. You choose any from among the available lines here. We have a lot of that, but of course we could still count that. You could choose this one, and then you also specify the color of the border line, whatever color you like. For the sake of demonstration, I will just choose this one, red. And the width or the thickness of the line could also be changed. If you would like to thicken it or make it thinner because you think that would be so thick for 3 points, so you might choose 2 and 1/4. Just click that and you click OK. But before you do that, you have to indicate the scope or the coverage of your page border. Would it be for the whole document, or for the section only, or first page only, or this section except the first page? So I will try to use this section only and then click OK. See, we have the borders now, and that section only. Sort of fancy borders. You could change that into art like this. It will look like that, but you don't of course use that with formal documents. You may be using that to make an invitation or other documents, but not for formal documents. That's for the art. You could always get back here and you change your page border style, color, and your setting. We just stick to the none so that we have our page border unchanged. You have that, so we are done with the page border. Let's move on with the paragraph border. By the way, we'll include also the shading of the page. We'll try to have that one here, and you get to have the fill color, whatever color that is. And do not forget that you still have patterns to use if ever you like patterns, and you may be using any one of this. It may look cool, but actually that will be distracting your text in a document to the extent that it may not be readable anymore. If you try that in a way, for the sake of you knowing exactly the effect of this, I will say DK grid, or maybe light. It's either light or dark. Just use light anyway. Click OK. See, that may not be good enough for your document having that kind of shading. To backtrack, now we gotta shade the whole page. You're gonna highlight everything inside this page, or all the text on this page only. Gonna go back there and again go to the page border, and right here we choose our shading and the color. Maybe light color, of course, because if it's dark, that will not make your text readable anymore. And just click OK. There you go. Now you could also do the paragraph bordering only, not the whole page but the paragraph. Supposing I want to add border to this paragraph. Again, using this, and you are this time going to go to the borders tab and you choose your setting here, say box. Then choose your line style, maybe double or triple line, and your color as well. You could choose any of the colors. And the application could be paragraph or the text. So we'll just apply that to the paragraph that we selected or highlighted. Just click OK, and there you go. And you could also make a shading here. It's like what we did with the page. So you could shade also your bordered paragraph. You could click page border, but the other way around, by the way, you could choose home and you have that one here. You get borders. You click this. Here you could specify the border lines that you would like to use, whether it's a top border line, bottom border line, left and right border lines. You may choose this one, outside borders. We have here also the other options. So you have also here the border shading that we could use, similar to the one that we have seen a while ago. So just like the same pop-up menu or dialog box. As soon as you click that, this time we have shading, and we'll choose a different color just to make a distinction. I'll just click this one and click OK. So you have that one as our paragraph shading. We are done with that. Let's move on to the next part. We are going to perform also this thing known as indenting. I will highlight this paragraph, for example, and we will just do the indenting. It's found here, whether you're going to increase or decrease it, of course, because it is located right now at the leftmost margin. Just click the increase indent. That would correspondingly move that to the next tab position by 0.5. That's the default. Or you just could decrease the indentation. That is your indenting. Next is our page break, section break, column break, insertion. Just point your cursor to wherever you like it to insert a page break or a column break or a section break. For example, here I would like to create a page break here. There are three ways of doing that. One way is by pressing Ctrl Enter. This is the shortest of the three methods. So I'm going to press Ctrl Enter now to create a new page. There. I got a new page here. But of course, I will have to undo that so that I could show to you the other two methods of doing the same thing. The other one is by going to the Insert tab and you select Page Break. That will accomplish the same thing that I did a while ago. Again, I will undo this by pressing Ctrl Z so that I could use the next method that's found here on the Layout tab. Click the Layout tab and you'll have your breaks. Just click on this button and that will show to you the available breaks, page and section break. We have a page break, so I'll choose this one and that will accomplish the same thing. So that is your page break. I will undo that by pressing Ctrl Z. This time we'll do the column break. Now for a column break to work, you have to see to it that your document is a multi-column document. Right now, my document is just good for one column. So what we're gonna do is we have to divide this in at least two columns. I will highlight this, or maybe I will do that here on the next page. I will highlight this till the bottom of the page. There you go. And then we go to the layout and you have here the layout. Choose columns and make a choice whether it's 2, 3, left, right. See the difference between left and right. When you choose left, the left column is narrower compared to the right column. When you choose right, the right column is narrower than the left column. Again, when you choose the left, your left column is narrower than your right column. If you choose right, that's the other way around. This time, your right column is narrower than your left column. I will choose here the 2. So we have our page divided into 2 columns now. And you could also minimize this spacing between the 2 columns. When you go to the columns, you have here these more columns so that you will have a dialog box where you could decrease the spacing between them. Right now it's 0.49, it's almost 1/2 of an inch. You could decrease that, for example, 0.3 of an inch, and that will also reduce the space between the two columns. Now let's go to the insertion of the column break. This is our insertion point. So from here we're gonna insert a column break so that this will move this section after this insertion point to the next column. Again, I'll go to the layout tab and you have here breaks and you have column. You click column. See, now the cursor is here. And I will just undo that. Now what about this section break? Your section break allows you to divide your, say, document into sections. We generally use this one for books, wherein you could divide your book into chapters, in which each section of the book will have perhaps different footers, headers. So the section break is more than just a page break. It is allowing us to control the footer, the headers, page numbers, and some other features as well. Trying to see to it that perhaps one chapter of the book has this kind of footer or header, and the other chapter or the next chapter would be of another footer or header. So that's the difference between section and page break. In some cases, when you do that one, for example, this is my insertion point, it's just like next page. See that it creates a new page, or it's going to insert a page break, but at the same time this is allowing us to have the extra feature of giving us control to format the different sections of our doc. Alright, we are done with that insertion of page, column, and section breaks. There could be more here actually. You have a continuous. If you use continuous, that will not create a page break like this one. I will undo this. Alright, if I will use continuous, that will divide the section anyway, but it will not create a page break. Let me show the continuous. Alright, there is no page break here. Maybe I will show to you the formatting mark so that you will know that there is a section break created. To do that by pressing Ctrl, Shift, and 8. You see that formatting marks. This talks about paragraph. This one is your mark when you press the tab key at beginning of the paragraph, end of the paragraph. What else here? You could hide that, by the way, by pressing again Ctrl Shift 8. Alright, the next thing that we're gonna do is setting tab stops. We are going to set tab stops. We're going to do that in two ways, using the dialog box or the pop-up menu, and we're going to do it right here on the ruler, and we'll try to use that on this paragraph. Now you understand that the default tab stop will be 0.5. Each time you press the tab key on the keyboard, that will jump your cursor to the next 0.5 position. So if you start with a 0.5 here, when you press tab, you get that, another 0.5, another 0.5, and so on. Now supposing we are going to set tab stops for this paragraph. There are two ways of doing that. We could choose the paragraph group. We have the paragraph group here. We click the expand button, and you will see here again the indents and spacing, line, and page breaks. And you will not be seeing here the tabs tab. You'll not be seeing the one because it's here at the bottom. See the tabs here? You click that, and you could set your tab stops here. You get alignment, by the way, left, center, right, decimal, bar. And we could start typing our tab stop number 1 here. Say this is for the left, for example. So you say 0.5, and then say your alignment is left, and you set that. Another left tab stop, say 1.5. Just set it as a left one. We could have another left tab stop, maybe 2 left, then set. Then we'll go setting a center tab stop, and we'll put a value here, say 3. Again, center, set. Another one, perhaps 3.5, set. And what about right? Gonna have right here. We'll try. That should be close to the right margin as well. So maybe 5.5. So right, and click set here. Maybe another one here, 6.0. Right again, then set. And we have also here for the decimal. Very useful when you are having numbers and you're gonna align all the decimal points. Maybe I could show to you in a short while. You have to put the decimal, for example, at a certain column position. Let's say put that on the fourth inch. You say decimal and you set that. You set many decimal tab stops if you like, but I'll just use only one here. Another one is the bar. I'll put the bar perhaps in the middle. It's a vertical line. Put at 3.75. Alright, and that's gonna be the bar. And as soon as you're done, you just click OK. You got that bar here, and these are the tab stops that we just created. You could see them on the ruler. Now take note, you must make your ruler visual for you to see them. Right, and we'll give a try something that we use for this decimal so that you will see the application of that. Supposing I will just create a line here and I will type a number, a decimal number, say 123.67. You have the one that the tab stop here that is for the decimal would align all the decimal points of the numbers. For example, I'll type another number here, 34.67. You see the alignment of the decimal points here? That's the purpose of the decimal. Okay. If your document has numbers and you want that the decimal points of all the numbers will be aligned, that is the purpose of that. Now you have your vertical bar here. This is your bar, right? And of course, every time you press the tab, that will jump to your set tab stops. Okay, now what if you want to clear them? So if you want to clear them, we're just gonna put our cursor on the paragraph where you have set a while ago your tab stop. It's here, and that's when we're gonna click the paragraph and choose tabs. And here are the tabs that you want to clear. Maybe you want to clear this, so choose and clear that. And if you want to clear all, just click clear all and click OK. See, now you don't have any more your tab stops. That's one way of doing that. Another way is very simple or faster and easier to do compared to that one. And we just simply gonna do that right here on the ruler. Alright, let's take a look at this portion of your screen. You see here, you got the left tab. It looks like an L. It's not an L actually, it's the lower left corner. And if you like to create a left tab stop, then you see to it that it's left here. Then just click anywhere here, say on the ruler. Click, and there you got the left tab stop. You may put it anywhere else here, and you could also have another one here. Now you could move that by clicking and dragging. If you change your mind, that's okay. Then you click this one so that you could go to another kind of alignment, to another alignment. You get center this time. You get center tab, and you just click on the ruler where you want to have the center tab. Still another center tab, another center tab, and the next one, perhaps your right. This is your lower right corner, and so you're gonna put that somewhere here somehow. Have 2 or maybe 3, and then we have also the next one is your decimal, and you want to put the decimal somehow here, or you may have 2 of that. It's up to you. And then the next here is your bar. You may put a bar here. You can see it right away. See that bar, and another bar here. See a couple of bars here. And you also have this first line indent. This is your hanging indent. So this is your first line indent. Click that first line indentation. This is your hanging indent. Okay. So you have that one. Now, when you want to clear this, the clearing would also be easier. Just click and drag it out. I said drag out. Click and drag out. That means move it outside or move it somewhere outside of your ruler. Click, drag out. Click, drag out. Click, drag out. Click, drag out. click, drag out, 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 and click, drag out. So we cleared all of them. The clearing is right here on the ruler. I find it easier to do it here on the ruler rather than doing it using the pop-up menu or the dialog box. And we are going to insert header, a footer, and a page number. All right, we'll do that here. Header, maybe this one. I'll put a header here. We'll click insert, and here you will find the header and choose which one you like. For your built-in header style, maybe use blank here. You type your header text, say here quotable quotes, and just like any other text, you could highlight that so that you could format that by changing its color, its size, its font family, and the style. You like underline, italic, bold. So you choose any one of these. So you could also put that to the center. Okay, and you could also put that here on the right. If it's not available, you go to the home and then click this. That would be under right margin, left, and center, and justified. Then we could also insert your footer. Get footer here, and again choose from among the built-in styles. I'll just use this one and type your footer here. This is a sample footer, and again you could always apply formatting here by highlighting it, and pop-up menu would just be there. So you could change the color, you could change the font. Doesn't look good because it's small. We use this one for big size letters. So we use this and then increase, and this time I'll put that to the right, so align right here. There you go. And as soon as you're done, just say close header and footer. You could also indicate where you want to have your headers and footers by choosing any one of this. Different first page, different add and event pages. Just stuck here. I'll see the footer. This is your header. Your footer is here. Well, insert also the page number. Insert page number. So you could insert that page number at the top. So that would be joining our header. Bottom, that will be joining our footer. Page margins, depending upon which location you like to put that. Maybe top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, or any of this ones available here. Border left, border right, large left, something like that. But I'll just try to use this one. Or maybe at the top, you want that at the top. It's rare, you know, when I choose that here. I will just undo. Page margin, I see this page number here doesn't look good, so you could always make an undoing of that. I will undo that. I'll go back there to the inserting of the page number. Page margin, maybe this one, vertical right. There you go. And we just gotta move it a bit to the left and maybe down if you like. Move here. That is right here. And then put a space between the number 4 and the page, and just make their font the same size, maybe in 10 right now. And then you may also change the color of that to blue. Yeah, get a blue here as well as the font. Again, just highlight that and go to the font. Say Rockwell. Do you have to close your header and footer? Now what about if you would like to remove the header, the footer, and the page number? Take note, your page number is at the bottom, so when you remove the footer, that would also remove the page number. Let's try to remove first the header. Before we remove, we'll try to edit first. We are going to edit it. There are two ways of doing that. Say double clicking, okay, would allow you to activate the editing mode. And so we will put something in. This is a sample edited footer. And just simply click close header or footer. Then we'll also modify this or edit this. Double click quotable quotes. say edited and close that. So by double clicking, that's one way. Another one is by again going to insert and using the menu. So you have header, you got at the bottom portion here, you have remove header or edit header. So we're gonna edit it there. You could make an editing. Close it as soon as you're done. Then you could do the same thing with the footer. The same menu actually. You have here edit footer and you are given a chance to edit a footer, and as soon as you're done, just close that footer. Again, if you want to remove, go to insert and header, and then this time remove header, so you don't have a header anymore. So we'll do the same thing with a footer and go to the bottom, remove footer. You don't have footer anymore, and you don't also have a page number because I told you already, when you put your page number at the bottom, that is part already of your footer. So if you remove the footer, that would also consequently remove your page number. That is how you insert a header, a footer, and or a page number. And that winds up our session. So thank you very much for watching. God bless you.